Some people will take your kindness and treat it like currency they don't have to earn. They'll mistake your patience for weakness, your generosity for obligation, your silence for consent. The Stoics understood this centuries ago. They knew that if kindness is not guided by self-respect, it can lead to the opposite of what we intend, not gratitude, but disrespect. Today, we're going to explore why this happens and how the Stoic approach to kindness can protect both your peace and your dignity. Part 1. The Illusion of Endless Giving. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." But here's the problem. Many of us confuse being good with being agreeable. We think kindness means never saying no, always helping, always understanding. The truth: kindness without limits becomes a form of self-betrayal. And the more we betray ourselves, the less others respect us. When you say yes to everyone, when you allow your time and energy to be taken without thought, you send an unspoken message. My needs don't matter as much as yours. And human nature, flawed as it is, will take you at your word. Part 2. Why kindness can lead to disrespect. Seneca warned, "He who is everywhere is nowhere." If you are always available, if you are always willing to give, to drop everything, to say yes without hesitation, you will be everywhere, and therefore, you will be nowhere. Here's why. Familiarity dulls appreciation. What is always given freely is rarely valued. Boundaries teach people how to treat you. Without them, people assume they can take more. Unexamined kindness attracts takers, not equals. Kindness without boundaries creates an unspoken agreement. You will always be here for me, and I owe you nothing in return. Not because people are evil, though some can be manipulative, but because the human mind adapts. What was once extraordinary becomes expected. Part 3. The Stoic Perspective on True Kindness. The Stoics were not against kindness. In fact, they valued compassion deeply. Marcus Aurelius himself ruled as a philosopher-emperor known for his sense of justice and care for his people. But here's the key difference. They saw kindness as a choice, not an obligation. Marcus helped not because others demanded it, but because it aligned with his values. Epictetus put it plainly: "Decide who you must be, and then do what you must do." Kindness in the Stoic sense is not about pleasing everyone. It's about acting in accordance with virtue. It's about helping when it is right, not when it is easy. And sometimes, the most kind thing you can do is say no, because kindness that destroys you is not kindness. It's self-neglect. Part 4. How to practice kindness without losing respect. The Stoic way offers a simple but powerful framework. 1. Choose when to give. Ask yourself before helping: is this aligned with my principles? Am I giving because I want to, or because I'm afraid to refuse? 2. Say no, without explaining yourself. You do not owe anyone an elaborate excuse. A calm, simple, "I can't" is enough. Explanations can invite debate. Silence closes the door gently. 3. Protect your time and energy. The Stoics saw time as the most valuable currency. Seneca wrote, "Nothing is ours except time. If you spend it carelessly, do not expect others to treasure it more than you do." 4. Give with intention, not habit. When you do help, let it be deliberate. Let it come from a place of strength, not obligation. This way, your kindness retains its meaning, and others feel its weight. Part 5. A story from life and philosophy. Let me tell you a story. There was a man. Call him Adrian. Adrian was the person everyone went to when they needed something. Help moving? He was there. A loan of money? He gave it. An ear to listen at 2 a.m.? Always available. At first, people praised him. "You're such a good friend." But over time, something shifted. They stopped asking if he could help and started assuming he would. One day, he said no, just once, and instead of understanding, they became angry. Why? Because his endless yes had trained them to see his kindness as a right, not a gift. Adrian learned what the Stoics already knew. When you give without boundaries, you are not teaching people to respect you. You are teaching them to expect you. Part 6. The inner work of boundaries. Boundaries are not walls, they are gates. They allow the right people in and keep the wrong behavior out. The Stoics would say, you are the guardian of your own mind, your own time, your own soul. Kindness without boundaries is like leaving the gates wide open. It allows not just guests but thieves to walk right in. Boundaries are how you protect what matters most so you can keep giving without becoming empty. Part 7. The misunderstanding about being. Many people have been taught since childhood that to be good means to always be agreeable. Be nice. Don't upset anyone. Always help when asked. The Stoics would disagree. For them, virtue was not about compliance. It was about wisdom, courage, justice, and self-control. If your goodness requires you to sacrifice your own principles, it's no longer a virtue. It's a performance. Seneca would remind us, you act like mortals in all that you fear, and like immortals in all that you desire. We fear disapproval as if it will kill us. But the truth is, losing the respect of others is not as dangerous as losing respect for yourself. Part 8. Why people test your boundaries. Human behavior follows patterns. If people discover they can cross your boundaries without consequence, they will keep pushing. Not because they've necessarily decided to hurt you, but because people naturally test limits. The Stoics would say this is part of nature. The problem is not that people push, it's that you never push back. Think of boundaries like the banks of a river. Without them, the water spills everywhere and loses its strength. With them, the river has direction, power, and purpose. Part 9. The courage to disappoint. One of the hardest Stoic lessons is this. You must be willing to disappoint others in order to live with integrity. Disappointing someone is uncomfortable, but it is not a moral failure. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. If saying yes feels wrong, if it drains you, if it violates your values, then it is not right, and refusing is not unkind, it is honest. The moment you stop fearing the loss of approval, you begin to live more freely." Part 10. When kindness is a mask for fear. Sometimes constant kindness is not a virtue at all. It's fear wearing a friendly face. Fear of conflict, fear of rejection, fear of being misunderstood. Epictetus would challenge us to look inward. First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. If you want to be respected, you must first respect yourself. And self-respect begins when your actions reflect your principles, not your fears. Part 11. The gift of earned kindness. Kindness means more when it is not automatic. When you give to everyone without discernment, your kindness is like cheap currency, plentiful but without value. But when you give with intention, when people know your help is a choice, not a guarantee, it becomes precious. Think of it like sunlight. If the sun never set, we would stop noticing its light. But because it rises and sets, we cherish the moments it warms us. Your kindness should be like that, consistent in spirit, but rare enough to be treasured. Part 12. Living the Stoic balance. The Stoics sought balance in all things. Too much severity makes you cold and isolated. Too much openness makes you exposed and depleted. The path is in the middle. Strong enough to protect yourself, soft enough to care for others. Kindness and respect are not opposites, they are allies. But respect is born from boundaries. And boundaries, when honored, make kindness shine brighter. So be kind. But let your kindness rest on the solid ground of self-respect, because only then will people see it for what it truly is, not weakness, but strength in its most human form. Part 13. Final Reflection and Call to Action. The Stoics knew that the world will not always reward your virtue. Some will admire your kindness, others will exploit it. But your task is not to please everyone. It's to live with intention, dignity, and peace of mind. Kindness without boundaries will drain you. Kindness with self-respect will sustain you. If this lesson speaks to you, remember, it's not just an idea to nod at. It's a practice. Start today. Protect your time. Choose when to give, and say no when you must. That's not selfish. It's the foundation of a life well lived. And if you want to keep learning how to master your emotions, protect your peace, and live with unshakable clarity, subscribe to Stoic Mindset Mastery. Every week, we dive into the timeless wisdom of philosophy and show you how to apply it in the chaos of modern life. Your mind is your greatest possession. Guard it well,